Hello, this is another tough video, and this time, it's again a little bit around this Corona. It's about the Corona learning, and I call it turbo. So because during the Corona times, it was actually quite a good thing that you could learn so much about human psychology. And now this topic is about the only discussion strategy that works when you discuss emotional things, to generalize it a little bit, if two people discuss, then maybe this person thinks A and this person thinks B, and now this person says B to this person, and now he thinks A, but it's B, and so you are kind of attacking him. This is in the Corona times, and I'll show why that is in the Corona times and what is different to when you discuss with a friend about something that you don't care. So I want to do something here, maybe remove the B and say it's a mathematical not A. Yeah, so you think not A, so you think exactly the opposite of this, and you tell this, and so this person says no way, and he doesn't like that. So what you can do, so that is one of the things I tried, is so he still thinks A, and now you go, and what you do is it doesn't matter what you think, because now this part is like me. It's me. I can change. So this is the first strategy. So this was my first strategy to say, oh sorry, what do you think? I don't think. Let's discuss it. And that doesn't work. Now this is the strategy is I still think not A, but now my strategy is I say okay. I say A, I say A, yes, but plus that, let's say there are some, there is B, which is bad, so there is A, and then I accept A, but please compare the two. And this strategy is, I say in Corona, the measures, yes, I agree, they are a possible thing to reduce the infections and so on. However, do you consider that on the other hand, these measures then cause, for example, a hairdresser or a bar owner or restaurant owner or companies or being laid off, workers being laid off, so all the negative things. So I agree on there is one positive thing, and then I say there are some other negative things, and I actually thought that then you have a kind of a discussion going on and you come to a conclusion, but also this did not work. So this did not work, and it was always stopped with saying, these stupid people, I don't care about them. They would go bankrupt anyway. Why should they complain? I need A. And that was what I noticed a lot. And so the third way, so this is number 2 in terms of discussion. And now the trick is a very nice one, and that is, so still this person thinks A in Corona. That means the measures are good, the government does a good job. And now what I do is I say that I say A plus. I still think not A, but so I think not A, but I kind of try to get a consensus, to get a discussion going on. So I say A plus. And an A plus could be that I say, for example, what I mentioned is that 20 years ago, one of my colleagues at work, a senior manager, said you should always wash your hands, you should disinfect your hands. If you have the slightest approach of a flu, you should stay at home, and the other people should wear masks. And so he said that 20 years ago. And so I say to that person, yes, you are right, your measures are right. And, you know, a colleague of mine started that already 20 years ago. And I think he was right, you know, and then I describe all the measures and they were very, very extreme. And what I noticed is then this person says, oh, no, that's too much. No, that's exaggerating. Yeah, so no, your colleague is wrong. Here, no, he's wrong. So that means this was the trick, that he kind of starts discussing this. So he is now evaluating you know, so this was for me the big clue. So this was something I learned, that you have to do it with this. I have another example of this, when people say that the masks are good and they like it and they don't mind, you know, that they don't see the face, the facial expression and so on. They don't, and then I usually say, yes, and I think we should be even more careful and wear, I think it's in German it's called a burqa, maybe in English it's also called a burqa, so it's this Arabic kind of clothing for women, where they cover themselves completely up except for the eyes. And then I say, yes, I think this year the corona is maybe not, you know, it's at a level, if there is the wave 2, then I would say we should consider to wear a burqa, male and female. Yeah, and then I also say, I think the Arabs, they got it right. I think they got it right. The only thing the Arabs didn't get right is that they only asked the female to wear such a burqa. So you say, I want to be like equalitarian, so I want also the male to wear burqa. And so I think when we will have wave 2, it doesn't matter how hard it is or so, I would say we should go for burqas because that's much better. And then what usually this person would again say, no, that's too much, that's exaggerating. No. So that's the only way. So here is A, where you exaggerate. That's the only way where he starts to think. And now my big question is, if that thinking process you started here may result in that after some days, some weeks, he might, you know, break down his very hard thinking. And now, what is the background of all this? And the background is, again, the 3-brain model. And here the intellect and the reptile brain and the limbic system. Now for this fear-based decision is, so if there is fear, then what the brain does, instead of thinking internally, having goals internally and having like thinking about it, internal, it's moving to external thinking. So the reptile brain likes to move to some external, and it's a leader or it's a doctrine, a slogan. Yeah? So do this and do that, very, very hard. So this is kind of so that means this person here is his brain is in this mode. So it's not an internal thinker, but it's an external thinker. It has a pointer to this leader does it right, and that slogan is fine. The laws are good. So put the laws in here. Yeah, the paragraphs, they are good. And here it's very difficult to discuss with a person that has this kind of external thinking. And that's what is behind, because we always wrongly assume that we discuss intellectually. So here, you know, we naively think if I say B and he says A, that then the intellect, you know, the intellects talk to each other. And that could be, it could be one of the intellects talks, but maybe one is emotionally, moved by this thing. And then it's the reptile brain that discusses. And the reptile brain in general does not discuss. Yeah, it either does not think internally, or it has decided to think externally, to get his opinion from a leader or from a doctrine, a book, slogans, paragraphs, laws, and so on. And that was, for me, kind of a very good, learning experience triggered by Corona. So I'm really, really happy that with strategy 3, discussion strategy 3, you actually get people to discuss, because also you might say, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. That does not matter if you're right or wrong. You have a war, you have a war. You have no discussion. And that's bad. So yes, maybe you are right. Maybe you are right. I don't know, maybe. But what you have with your discussion is a war, and you have no discussion. And now the thing is, I rather be a little bit, I'd rather be wrong here, or say, well, okay, I give up my opinion here, but then I start a discussion. I start a fruitful discussion. Nobody loses his face, and so on. And therefore, I'm really grateful to kind of understand that this could be the right thing also for other conditions. It's not only about Corona, it's for every situation where people are not thinking with their intellect, but thinking emotionally with their reptile brain. Here, it could also be like with the limbic system, where you have different views with different visions of your life, which is a little bit less hard than the fearful. Fearful is the hardest, because then you do external thinking. With like if you have a vision, that vision usually is being implemented by internal brain, internal intellect. Yeah, you have a vision, for example, communism is good, or you have a vision that you say the dictatorship is good, or you say male dominance is good, and then that's your vision. And then you look internally for arguments for your vision. No matter what that vision is, your intellect will give you the arguments for it. And so in general, when you have an internal vision, you usually try to find, your brain will ask for internal visions. So usually that means if you are a limbic, kind of you have a limbic system dispute, that usually works then with the arguments, the internal arguments. So that means it is a little bit easier to kind of start a discussion, because the person knows these arguments. It may, the limbic system is the boss and the intellect is the slave. So the slave will have given the limbic system all the arguments that support his vision, no matter how unlikely his vision is, but it will give him the arguments. So limbic system, that is, you can kind of solve by discussing, solve easier. Reptile brain, fear-based, let's say discussions can in general not be solved in this way. They can only solved in this way, where you say, I'm your friend, because that is what you do. You say, I'm your friend, yeah? And so he's not afraid that he has to kind of throw away his external thinking. And then you tell him that your thoughts are even harder, that these ones are more severe than these ones. And so he could say, okay, I'm not afraid, please don't exaggerate. So yeah, you're a friend, but don't exaggerate. And that means we have a discussion. That's good. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.